Salutations, respected viewers. This is George from Ireland. Here I am in Hungary, in the city of Székesfehérvár. So for some time this could be seen to be the capital of the country, and indeed many coronations and assemblies took place here. Behind me is this memorial to historic Hungary. You can see the map there, perhaps the outline of historic Hungary, the boundaries of Hungary from 1868 to 1918, about 3 times larger than it is now. And the extreme left is showing a portion of the Adriatic coast, which belonged to Hungary. So countries we now call Slovenia, a little bit of Croatia, much of Romania, province of Transylvania, a little bit of Hungary, of the Ukraine, Slovakia, maybe even a slice of southern Poland, and a tiny bit of actually what's now Austria, Burgenland. So it does seem to be a rather nationalistic, irredentist image, as in irredenta, unredeemed in Latin, wanting to claim back the land they formerly owned. But the non-Magyar majority areas of Hungary ceased to be Hungarian territory in 1918. They did claim a bit of it back around 1940, obviously lost it all again at the end of the Second World War. So Romania's got a sizable Hungarian ethnic minority. It used to be much larger, but many of them left after the end of the communist era. It made it feel somewhat unwelcome. And then it's got the coats of arms of all the counties of historic Hungary. Much of this is outside the borders of the modern Republic of Hungary. So you can go around, it's got a Latin inscription. This is one of the things that distinguishes Hungary from her neighbours. Although its language is Finno-Ugric, it's outside the Indo-European language, it was a Roman Catholic country, whereas there were Orthodox Christian countries to the south and to the east. So one God, it says. If we keep going, we'll see it links religiosity with hyper-nationalism. I believe in one fatherland, as in an expanded Hungary, but I don't think they really want to regain their territory. That's one of the few good things about the European Union, is we don't spill each other's blood anymore. And then you can see the flag above, an image of the Iron Crown of Hungary with a sword underneath it. I believe in one divine eternal justice. I believe in the resurrection. And it's got a motto in Hungarian. You can see the orb there, Magyar Ország, as in Hungary. So because they were Catholics, they would have known Latin. But then so were some of their neighbours, such as the Poles, for instance, or the Slovaks. Hungary, Amen. I believe in the resurrection of Hungary. It reminds me how in 1848 they had a rising which failed. Many Romanians took the side of the Austrian government against the Hungarian separatists. They had no wish to see independent Hungary. They felt that was bad, and indeed the Russian army intervened to assist the Austrians. What else should I point out? So Russia was the policeman of Europe, upholding reactionary regimes, but in 1868 there was another Hungarian rebellion because Austria had just been defeated by Prussia in the 7 Weeks' War, the Battle of Sadova, which is fought in what's now the Czech Republic. So we'll keep going. I believe in, well, Amen, that's what it means. It's the same, whether it's Hebrew or Latin. So then Hungary became a kingdom within Austria. It had been a kingdom in theory, but it got a significant amount of autonomy. And the Emperor of Austria was also king of Hungary. So about half the Austrian Empire was the Kingdom of Hungary. So Magyar, the official language, German used quite a lot in Hungary as well. So the Hungarian aristocracy were often fluent in German, and much of the bourgeoisie too, and many of them were promoted high in the military and the civil service. Indeed, Admiral Horthy, he later wrote his autobiography, Ein Leben für Ungarn, in German, A Life for Hungary. What else should I point out? So, although he was a Protestant, part of that minority, but that didn't seem to count against him very much. Anything else I should point about Hungarian irredentism? Well, supposedly some of the hyper-nationalists, Hungarian politicians in the European Parliament, they had a map of Greater Hungary, and it grievously offended Gigi Becali, a Romanian huckster politician who tore it up, so he boasted. I have my doubts about his claim there. Anything else I should point out about Greater Hungary? Well, I don't think it's going to come back. The country's got 9 million people, got a very low fertility rate, quite high immigration. There's a significant Hungarian ethnic minority in Slovakia. It briefly gained a bit of Slovakia again during the Second World War. Well, it reminds me how Arthur Griffith, the Irish ultra-nationalist, he wrote The Resurrection of Hungary, saying we should follow the Hungarian model, have a dual monarchy like there, the King of Ireland will be the same man as King of Great Britain, and we should really revive our language. Hungarians have got their language and their literature thriving, and they really are a nation. Arthur Griffith, the founder of Sinn Féin, who did not want total separation, who was dead against having a republic at first, a dual monarchist, as I said, and was a fervent anti-socialist, a far cry from what Sinn Féin was for most of the 20th century. That's enough.